The love of God is not what most people think or even what they display. And most people are misinformed about this. I'm going to do a very quick Bible study on this. So Paul says in 1 Corinthians 13, "Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal." Let's look at this word charity. This is in the King James, but it's the word love. So I'm sure many Christians have heard this term agape, which means love, benevolence, goodwill, esteem, and in the plural it means love feasts. But what does that actually mean? Properly, it means love which centers in moral preference. I'll read this just because it's here. So too in secular ancient Greek, agape focuses on preference, likewise the verb form. In antiquity meant to prefer. And this is where it really matters because we are New Testament Christians. In the New Testament, agape typically refers to divine love, meaning what God prefers. So love is not about making people feel good. We know in the scriptures that God is love, but most people go to hell. Does that mean that God's suddenly not loving in that and suddenly God isn't the embodiment of love? No. God makes the rules and it's all about his preference, and his preference is perfect. His will is perfect. His judgment is perfect. So this love is actually what God prefers. Jesus said in John 14:15, "If you love me, you keep my commandments." Again, God makes the rules. So people can question that if they want and go against that if they want. That's exactly what Satan did. But God is perfect in all of his ways. And if anyone wants to look into this further, let's look at this. If you love me, you keep my commandments. What's this word love here? So it's if you love, means to love, same thing. The love of reason, esteem. But what does it actually mean in application? Properly to prefer, same thing, preference. To love, for the believer, preferring to live through Christ, i.e. embracing God's will, choosing his choices and obeying them through his power. Agapao preeminently refers to what God prefers as he is love. I've had people try to tell me that certain things aren't loving or whatever. If we are seeking God, studying the scriptures to show ourselves approved, properly seeking him in prayer, in fasting, in devoting our lives to him, and God is the one guiding us through his Holy Spirit who teaches us all things, brings all things into remembrance, that is walking in love. It's not loving to mollycoddle someone and pat them on the back as they are in sin in their lives. You know, he who converts sinners is wise. He who converts souls is wise. We are not meant to be messing around with our actions, with our lifestyles, with anything. So it's actually God's love to tell people the truth. Jesus told one man who loved possessions more than God to sell everything he had and give it to the poor and then follow him. To love God is to do what he wants and to serve him. Nothing existed before God, so God has made the parameters. So he defines what love is. He defines what everything is because he is the originator. I hope people understand this. God bless.